So you saw the process from the cracking of the dried beans to the roasting of the green coffee beans to the then grinding of the roasted coffee beans and then the steeping of the roasted ground beans. And I am pretty impressed with the result. It's definitely been a labor of love, and I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, regardless of how this taste test takes place, we have our resident coffee connoisseur here. Mrs. MIgardener loves coffee, so I'm gonna have her doing the taste test. I just loved growing them. It was a lot of fun to see it from start to finish, and I'm just even more excited for this coming year, where we're probably going to get 10 times, maybe even 20 times more fruit this year than last year. But we got the hot coffee here, so I have it labeled A and B. I know what the homegrown coffee is. I just want you to compare the pretty high-end store-bought brand from the homegrown brand. Just want to give me and the viewers kind of a flavor profile of both, and then at the very end, give your guess, and we'll see if you can tell which one is homegrown. So I'm excited. Go for it. It's just straight. There's no coffee, or there's no sugar, there's no creamer, obviously. Just straight black. So
tastes kind of familiar, so I don't know if it's something that it's not the one from MIgardener household, but it's a little acidic for sure, and there's a little bit of kind of a caramel kind of note to it. I really like it because it's not too strong as well, so I like it. It's light. What else can I say about it? It's more desserty. It's like kind of sweet, the notes of it, so I like it. Should I try B now?
Yeah, yep. Go for B.
Okay. This also tastes like something I've had before, so I don't know which one it is now.
Give me the flavor profile on that one.
This one is a lot stronger, and
it's definitely color-wise. It's definitely a darker roast for sure.
So it depends, because I don't know how darkly roasted it as well. So
maybe that means I did a great job.
Very similar.
So give me the flavor profile on that one, though. I'm just wanting to break down the two. Here are your thoughts.
It's a little berryish, but it's also a little more bitter. So I don't know if it's how it's supposed to be, like a really.
You mind if I try both?
Oh no, go for it.
Break it down though. I mean, you can.
See, I'm not a big coffee geek. I do appreciate it. So.
Yeah, I mean.
This one's definitely more bitter than this one.
Which one would you say is better? A better quality? This one is definitely my preferred one.
Your preferred one?
My preferred one because no, and I'll tell you why. No, not that I did not do it. I honestly, I'm not going to give that away. But the reason why I like this one more is honestly because it's anytime I've had like an espresso, it has kind of a richness to it that's not just bitter on the tongue. It's kind of more, there's more, even though it is definitely more bitter for sure, the bitterness kind of comes through in more of a balanced flavor throughout the mouth, rather than kind of I almost get kind of a burnt flavor, which could have been from the roasting process of the bean, whether or not it's that bean or my bean. I don't know. I can't tell you.
See, I like both medium. I think there's more of a medium. There's more of a dark.
I would agree.
I like both of them a lot.
And I don't know enough about coffee. I've only had, very limited knowledge of coffee. So my interpretation of this one could, I personally like this one better, but you are the professional. So you can give me the final, which one do you think is the higher quality first?
I have to taste it a little more.
can you taste an altitude change of like 3,000 feet above sea level?
This one's like chocolatey, and this one's like
This is kind of chocolatey. I think that's what I like about it.
Or caramely. It's hard because they're very different, but they still have like their own thing going on. I think the higher quality one is probably this one, I would say.
Oh, I mean, if that's what your thought is.
I think A, and I think it actually might be the homegrown one. I don't know if you were able to get that much of a dark roast. So I think this is the homegrown one.
Okay.
So I think A is a better quality one, and I also think it's the homegrown one.
Okay. And final question is there any altitude difference? Can you, can you taste, they always say that, or at least people that grow coffee say that the higher the altitude, the better the flavor. Do you feel like you can taste a difference in altitude?
If this is the better tasting one, then yeah, this is the higher the altitude.
Okay, well then.
But I mean, I'm not really versed in it. I mean, I only got into coffee just because, I was in my workplace, and before college I never drank coffee, and then after I got to work, I liked it. So I'm not a super coffee geek, but I think this is a better quality one. I like this the most.
I hate to burst your bubble, but B was the homegrown one.
Well, see, I could still enjoy it, but I just didn't think you would be able to roast it that dark.
It is a real dark roast, I will say, and
which is the one used for this one? What's the brand? Is it supposed to be a dark roast, medium roast?
That was actually considered a dark roast. And
it doesn't taste like a dark roast.
And I wasn't biased. I used the exact same amount of water and everything. Mm-hmm. So I mean, everything was consistent. And how I actually came up with this amount of coffee is I actually found how many fluid ounces they recommended for the K-cup. Mm-hmm. It actually came from one of the K-cups, the higher end K-cups, because it was the only thing that I could actually measure with division. So I took the amount of fluid ounces they recommended putting through a K-cup, through that K-cup, and then I actually found out the amount that I had, and then divided it out by the amount of water I would need. So there's a little bit of margin of error and stuff in there, probably by a few tenths of a fluid ounce or so. But I mean, I was really impressed with how it turned out, and honestly,
I mean, more than flavor,
I genuinely did like this one though a lot more.
I mean, more than first flavor, I think I was going by the color of it, because I honestly did not think you were going to be able to.
I mean, flavor is definitely subjective. I think you enjoyed that one more because I know for a fact you don't like a really robust coffee,
no.
And I personally like. I kind of do like that type of coffee.
So that's closer to an espresso taste
than
just more, a coffee.
And I do like espresso. I hate coffee, but I will drink espresso. So I think it's pretty cool though.
I'm so sorry.
Well, you don't have to apologize.
I'm so sorry, True, that I didn't choose you.
Well, there's gonna be a lot more coffee coming in the future, so we're gonna get better too. My roasting techniques, obviously, were super micro scale. So when you're only roasting 4 beans.
But that's what I was surprised that you were able to, with that much, those little bit of beans, you were able to create such an intense coffee flavor out of it. Right.
I was super impressed too. Yeah. And I mean, I'm not just saying that because I did it. I'm like really impressed because I genuinely going into this, I didn't know what to expect. So I'm pretty happy. And you want to finish her off? You can have the honors because I don't drink much coffee. So
we'll split it. There you go. Oh.
You're good.
Cheers.
Yeah, that is like a straight shot of espresso. That really is, honestly. That is really good. I like that a lot.
Yeah, so maybe it'd be worth your investment on a coffee tree if you're looking to do espresso shots more or so than coffee.
It really, I think a lot of it has to do with the variety roasting. And the roasting, for sure. I think a lot of it has to do with the variety and the roasting. So I don't know what variety this is. I think this is just regular Arabica coffee. This, however, is this is obviously Arabica too, but it's considered your more wild variety of coffee. Mm-hmm. So it's a little more I guess like a robust strain of coffee. This is probably more of your cultivated regular strain of coffee, which I do think is also kind of interesting too, in that they're totally different varieties of beans. Because this is definitely more of a cultivated, because it's not a Kona, and it's definitely not a...
I mean, and since this is fresher too, you get a more true coffee taste versus this one who's probably sitting on the shelf for a lot of...
Yeah, that is really true. Yeah, because I mean, I literally just did this only minutes before you tasted it. Whereas this, I have no clue how long that's been out.
Yeah, like coffee beans.
Which is also kind of funny that she thought this one was the better one.
Well, I know, but it's just I honestly didn't think it would have died, and maybe
that's okay. It's okay. We'll give it another shot later, and we'll do it. Maybe we'll do like a double blind, with like my dad who's a coffee geek, you who's a coffee geek, and maybe another.
Lauren. His cousin.
Maybe
she works at a coffee shop.
That's true. My cousin does work at a coffee shop. So maybe we'll next year when this time comes around again, we'll have like a triple blind, or not triple blind, but a three panel judge taste to really put it to the test again. So, but it was fun. Yeah, awesome. Had fun. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you learned something throughout this process. It was definitely an adventure, and I do recommend watching all the videos we have on how to grow coffee. We grew these from start to finish, from the bean itself. We grew the bean, planted the bean, and grew it out, and then harvested the beans and roasted the beans. So it was a full cycle. And yeah, it's right back there. It's doing awesome. So it's right behind Cindy's head, actually. But it was a ton of fun, and I learned a lot throughout the process, and I'm still learning more each and every day. So I'd recommend going and checking out those videos. And also, if you do want to try growing a tree like that back there, we have coffee seeds actually for sale over at MIgardener.com. So they take a long time, but is really worth it, and it's a ton of fun to grow. So a fun little project for all of you if you want to give it a shot. So as always, this is Luke
and Cindy
from the MIgardener channel, reminding you
to grow big
or go home. And we'll catch y'all later. See ya.